Yeah, students, today we are going to start another chapter. It's Madame Marie Curie. So, we are before going to read about Madame Marie Curie in this chapter. First of all, we need to know that who she was and what is her identity, as what we people we know about her, what are her achievements. So, we know that she was a scientist and she was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and also the first to win in two fields, that is, both in chemistry and in physics. And she is the one who did research on radioactivity. So now we are going to read, we are going to know about the chapter from our book. So let's see. Madame Marie Curie was born on 7th November 1867 in Warsaw, Poland. She was unique in being both a physicist and a chemist, and was known for her pioneering research on radioactivity. Mary is also remembered in history as the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and also the first to win it in two fields, chemistry and physics. So that's all what we got here in the book about the identity about who Madame Marie Curie was. So, Professor Sklodowsky had four children, and one of them was Mary. Mary wanted to study science at the famous Sorbonne, but now before going further, now she wanted Mary's father's name was Professor Sklodowsky, and there were four siblings, and Mary wanted to study science in a very prestigious university in Paris, that is Sorbonne. But her father didn't have enough money. Their economic condition, the financial condition of Mary's family was not so good. So for that, her father couldn't manage to let his daughter read in that prestigious university. And there weren't too many good institutes in Warsaw. So because of that, she had to stop. She had to stay for a while with her dream about getting admission there in the famous prestigious University of Sorbonne. But in 1891, when Mary was 24, when she became 24 years old, after a long struggle, she finally got what she wanted. That means Mary got enrolled. She got admission. She was officially joined in Sorbonne in Paris. So it was someone like her dream comes true. Though Mary loved studying science and being in Paris, it was difficult to make ends meet. It was quite difficult for Mary to manage everything, studying in university, need to think about her expenditures. So she was having a lot of financial problems even at that time after getting admission there in Sorbonne. So she used to think, I will study here in the library. It is warm and bright in here. I will also save on fuel for the lamp at home. So whenever she was there in the college, in the university, she used to do her studying or reading job there in the library of the university itself, so that she will able to manage, she will able to save the fuel which she will able to use later on back at her home where she was staying. She ate very little and rented a small attic on the 6th floor of a building. So she was not having that much of money that she will able to afford herself a nice cozy room. Instead, she managed herself with an attic. It's all I can afford. Besides, this is so close to the university that I can walk instead of taking a bus. So it was quite near to the university where she was staying, and it saves her bus fare. For 3 years, Mary devoted her entire time and attention to studying. She decided to do her master's not only in science but in mathematics too. And in 1893, she accomplished her mission. In the order of merit, in the first position is Mary Sklodowska. So, in the year 1893, she finally did her master's and she got the certificate in the first position. At the age of 26, Mary's passion for science was still the driving force of her life. She was very much eager, she was very much interested in science. Studying the magnetic properties of various steel is quite interesting. I hope that I am able to devote my entire life to science. She was so much into the subject science, the facts of science, that she wanted to devote her whole life towards science. She met a man equally passionate about the subject, a Frenchman by the name of Pierre Curie. He worked as a laboratory assistant at the Sorbonne. One day she heard him talking to his brother Jacques. I was quite fascinated by crystals and did some research on them. My brother and I also studied the generation of electricity by pressure, which led to our discovery of piezoelectricity. So this man, who was a laboratory assistant there in the Sorbonne, he was also very much passionate along with his brother towards the facts of science. And both the brothers, that is Pierre Curie and his brother Jacques, they discovered the piezoelectricity. Our research has helped us in our invention of the new apparatus, the piezoelectric quartz. Now, they already invented a new apparatus, a new tool, new instrument, that is piezoelectric quartz. Soon Mary and Perry realized that neither of them could find a better life companion than each other. So later on, after a few days, both Mary and Perry Curie, they realized that they both are compatible from everything in their life. So as both of them, they were very much interested in science facts, they wanted to devote their life in the subject of science, and for that they decided, both of them, they decided to get married. On 25th July 1895, they got married. Their marriage turned out to be a unique partnership. Mary spent a lot of time doing research at Paris laboratory. So after their marriage, so it becomes quite easier for Mary to afford herself with the experiments and tests which she can do, and as well as the research which she can do there in the laboratory of her husband. In the second year of their marriage, their first daughter, Irene, was born. Mary returned to the lab and began work on her doctorate. So she was doing her doctorate. So after the first birth of their first daughter, Irene, she began to work on her doctorate. The way the X-rays can pass through objects is very fascinating, and Henry Becquerel has also discovered similar rays being emitted from uranium. Perhaps this property of uranium can be found in some other elements. I want to research on this some more. So both of them, they were quite supportive to each other. They were quite interested to their own science experiments. So both of them, they supported each other. Perry too advanced the research using an apparatus invented by him. They found not one but two such elements. So what are that? One is polonium and the other is radium. I will name this polonium in honor of my native country, Poland, and this can be called radium, Latin for ray. Yes, we will call it radium, but we still need to isolate it in its pure form. So they need to do more research on what they had got. In the meantime, Mary was appointed as a physics lecturer at a school for girls, but her research continued.